Good morning, wonderful people. It's July 22nd this morning, and I wanted to show you my garden at this time of the year. We just had a little rain last night, probably a quarter of an inch of rain, and everything got a nice soak. So let's start with our patio. Right now we have a few old strawberry pots that we left, but mostly flowers. And flowers, we have 3 or 4 varieties of geraniums, violas, culinary herbs, dahlias, zinnias, culinary herbs. This one here is rosemary, a little bit of sage, dwarf dahlias, oregano, lemon balm, summer savory, a little bit of basil, another dwarf dahlia, as far as the garden, one of you asked me, Val, why don't you plant in your grass? Well, I would like to, and I was thinking about planting more in the yard, but I was thinking about resale value of the house. That means that if somebody wants to buy it, might not be a gardener or might not like to garden, so at least I think it's a perfect mix of both the worlds. A few veggies, a lot more than a few veggies, and you still have your yard. This is the right side of the patio. Got some blazing star here. Here is a peony, second year peony that this year didn't flower, but I got a volunteer tomato growing from the bottom. Looks to me that it's a Bread's atomic grape from the fruits, and I decided I'm not gonna stake it. I'm just gonna leave it to vine as per their nature. As you know, tomatoes are vines, so you don't trellis them, they're gonna climb. And that's my little container there. Some cucumbers, like patio cucumbers. I have a little watermelon. I think it's a blacktail watermelon. So far, I have one, and I believe one more. 2 fruits on this watermelon. Here more cucumbers, patio cucumbers, and this one, it's a Monreal melon. I got it from Annapolis Seeds, and one of the description was that this was an old variety grown on Monreal Island, but the grower stopped growing it because of a disease that they got in the mid-60s. Behind it, zinnias, some flowers, and a bunch of dwarf tomato, patio dwarf tomato. Tiny Tim, Taste of Paradise from Wild Boar, starting producing. Golden Nugget, a variety from West Coast Seeds called Tumbler, are starting to ripe. Tiny Tim, Taste of Paradise, another tumbler, and on the right side of the garden, the cucurbit side. So let's go on the ground. And if you remember my previous videos, on the left side we have the tomato alley and the tomatoes are start camera now. But what I did, because I'm growing in containers, in front of each tomato I had either an eggplant, either a nasturtium, either a pepper, so a bunch of varieties. The eggplants in the containers are a little bit slower to get in. Peppers though, this is a Strizanka pepper, Asian bright eggplant, the early calendar, and then the tomatoes that I showcased last time. No, sweet milk, million, sakura. Look at the black cream already pumping, sweet million, the San Marzano ones. So as you can see, tomato jungle now with various things. But here in between I have some raised beds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 raised beds, and here I'm trying to cramp as much product I can. This is a Korean long eggplant. So far, very, very dark purple color. It's starting to put the first fruit. Bunch of peppers. I'm gonna dive in. They're still producing flowers, but they're still having some fruits growing in. Some Triunfo Violetto pole beans. Look how beautiful they are. Look how beautiful the flowers are. Tomatoes. Asian string. It's a very nice eggplant, ready to take over. More beans, more pole beans, a wide variety. This is what Japanese beetles did to the beans on top, but I'm staying on top of them and picking them up. Some borage, marigold, another eggplant, lunchbox peppers, bush beans. Pretty sure it's a bush bean galore. Probably I need to pick them up. Another eggplant. Jimmy Nardello. This is the first time growing Jimmy Nardello. I suppose it's a sweet Italian variety. They're getting long. And I do have quite some fruits on them. Again, things are still growing. Zinnias in between. Eggplants. This bed, I just harvested some peas. Another Strizanka pepper. So this bed we had peas in, and now I planted peppers, my Yalta and yellow globe onion, the bulbs almost there, probably another month until I can harvest it. Triunfo Violetto pole beans, this little thing that I created here in the back there, that's a Scarlet Runner pole bean. Another, this is a hybrid gypsy pepper. Tomatoes. Look how beautiful the flowers of the scarlet beans is. They're starting to make some fruits, some beans, but tiny at this point. They look from the end of the bed. So here was a strawberry bed. Strawberry were good the second year. First year I just let them pinch all the flowers, and they did give us a lot of fruits. I'm very excited about the sun gold. Look at the trusses. Look at the size of the trusses on this. I don't know if you guys grew crazy berry. As I said in my previous video, it is pretty crazy. Look at my hand and look at the trusses of this. This beautiful Asian bride. It's a white eggplant. The cabot clusters, the mint in front of them. And here in the back, there's supposed to be a flower garden. I have hydrangea. On the bottom, I put out a bunch of onions. I have some hostas. A big, that ready to flower Rose of Sharon. And here, more pots. Bush beans, pickling cucumbers. Look at this little guy growing. This is a squash. I'm not sure which squash is this one. The borage is down from the rain. Look at this flurry of activity here. Good beans, good bees. Beans. Bees pollinate. Pollinate this squash for us. More tomatoes. I think it's a Cherokee purple. Look at this beautiful pickling cucumber. You know it's not gonna make it to pickle. This is going out for a little snack. Some beautiful lilies. Look how beautiful these lilies are. Very big. Beautiful colors. Well, this is my tomato that I let it 3 liters and it's in the ground. First tomato that I don't have in pots. And it is a San Marzano, and I agree. Tomatoes grown in soil are bigger and produce more than ones in the pot. More tomatoes, another squash, cucumbers in the back, 3 types of eggplants that I'm waiting for them to flower. We have some wood chips there in a bag there. Just a little peek for you guys. My zero bean compost. Each gardener should have their own compost bin. Those are delicious buckets with comfrey and stinging nettles that are fermenting. The smell is, let's say, unpleasant. The sweet williams are wilting it down. Those little trellis here I created mostly for the sayote or the pickling pears, but again, a few tomatoes in it. Some pole beans, which are mostly soup beans to harvest. A little raspberry bush here. Got a bunch of flowers out of them. That's already beautiful. So this is the sayote. I'm waiting for sayote to grow. And then, as you can see, a bunch of beans. This is like a shady spot because this part of the garden is under our neighbor's big maple tree. Here we're gonna go on the right side. Colorful zucchini. A bunch of peppers. This is the first raised bed. We got peas in this trellis. Now, I'm having cucumbers growing there. Peppers. Dill that is flowering. There's a little bit of tomato. Another eggplant. Beautiful marigolds. Carrots. Two varieties of carrots. 2 rows here. Cucumbers that are growing. We have 2 potato plants. What I'm excited this year is this new type of zucchini from Napoli seeds. We call it Palestinian Kusa. It's a very, very soft skin zucchini comparing with a Florida cocosella. So I'm looking forward to see how this tastes. Some bush beans, some squash. I think this is a gem squash. Gem squash here. The first fruit. And this is the brassica bed. We still have some kale in it. You can see it's like a red Russian kale. This is like a Camden kale from the Napoli seeds. Look at how long these leaves are. They're very, very huge. Very huge. And in the back, where the beans were, peppers and another round of cucumbers. We have pickling, Shinto kiwa, market more. The last cabbage head, now harvested. Another Palestinian kusa. Third row zucchini. The cukes growing there. Another tomato. Cherokee purple. Gypsy bear and pepper. And here, the cucumber trays. So this one, it's long. It is long. It is prickly. I'm gonna leave it a few more days until I harvest. So I have so far 2. And a lot of millflowers. As you know, gardeners, this is the millflower. So the bees have to take the pollen from the male flower and send them to a female flower, which here's the female. You see the fruit forming? And they need to pollinate here. Otherwise, the cucumbers are not pollinated and the fruits are drying. Another experiment here of Sakura. It was actually a volunteer. I just decided I'm gonna leave it on the ground and see what's happening out of it. No staking it, no taking care of it. Look at it already. I have fruits, flowers coming, more cucumbers here, tomato plants, and here's the start of the deck. A better close capture on the tumbler. And there's a little door that I'm very excited called Golden Hour. Look how small the plant is. If you look at the plant, it's in my hand, right? But the size of the fruit on it, look at this. Amazing. More tomatoes, beans, bush beans. And this is the yard. Now on this side, I'm going to show you the peppers, which is on the other side of the beds. Oh, this beautiful zinnias. I have to showcase this beautiful zinnia. It's very, very red. Almost purpley. Comparing with this one, which is more as a pink. Elephant ear peppers. We're just going to get right. Eggplant. More peppers. marigolds, basil, more carrots, strizanka peppers, zucchini. This is going to cook a little. Harvest this one. There's another flower here. Chamomile, marigolds on this side of the beds. Look at this humongous Duda spine. This is a Patio, eggplant, bush beans in between. And look at this Gypsy Baron. These are a purple pepper. Look at the amount of fruits I have on it. This gives you a perfect idea. Now you see the purple in the sun. Very, very prolific, as you can see. It's a sweet pepper. The Filipino silly is very, very spicy. They're just gonna get red. But look at the amount of the sealies on this one. It's all green right now. You don't see them so good, but there's a lot of them. And here's a winter squash, still growing. Wakiki Kiwi Red. And this is another eggplant. This is an eggplant called green Japanese Saitama. I think I'm going to cook it later with a bit of miso paste. But again, peppers, eggplant, bush beans, and of course, stinging nettles. Each gardener should have, as a side planting, stinging nettles and comfrey. And stinging nettles